You sound like the horn in this vehicle. What?
Hey.
Hey. Hey. That's what the horn sounds like.
So I'm annoying.
No, it just sort of like startled by acceleration.
Okay, that one did get me.
Hey crew, I've got the key, which happens to be my phone, to that 24 Tesla Model S Plaid. And today we're going to see what it's like to live with. The first thing I would do is disconnect it from charging. And I also need to take off the adapter here. That door will close automatically. I've topped up the battery overnight, which is the norm with my level 2 charger. As long as I've got an 8-hour stretch in the night, I can usually get the battery back from wherever it was during the day to a healthy 80%. Now looking at spacing in my driveway, which is 16 feet wide by 19.5 feet long. I've got the Model S Plaid parked with about 8 inches to the side there, sitting next to a Subaru Outback that my wife is reviewing. If you want to check out her content, it's at Mobile Mama on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. She's parked right there at the edge, and that gives me spacing to walk in between the vehicles, no problem. And I also have the nose of the vehicle parked right at the gutter in front of my driveway. You can even get a double stroller in through here. And at the back, there's a lot of room between the back of the vehicle and my garage door, even so much space that I can walk between the hedge and the car to get to my front door. And when I first approached the Model S to get in, as long as my phone is on me, the door handles will deploy from their flush positions and the mirrors will unfold. And what's great about this is not only convenience, because I can just have my phone in my pocket, but also I'll know if I forgot my phone if the car is not unlocking. Now, as I open up the door, that's 1 defined notch, 2 and 3 notches. I can make the door go fully open before touching this Outback next to me, giving me a great access point to the cabin. And the vehicle isn't so low that I have to crouch down all that much. Not going to be hard on the knees. Hey cabin crew, thanks for joining for this day in the life with the Tesla Model S Plaid. Now in this video, I'm curious, is life with a high-performance EV any more or less enjoyable than a high-performance gas-powered vehicle like a BMW M5? And I'll begin with where I've stashed the items I brought with me. And this is an immediate advantage of an EV over an ICE vehicle. The lack of engine, transmission, and drive shaft means the cabin just has so much more space for stuff. So I've got my smartphone on one of the 2 wireless charging pads. My large water bottle is clamped in here by this carbon fiber gate, and I could actually go deeper with this cubby, but the reason I prefer the shallower one is the bottle kind of moves around here, whereas again, it can be sealed up with that gate there. Cup holders, slide those back, and there's another deep cubby inside the console. Surprise, surprise, another deep cubby. I've got my GoPro accessories, that J1772 adapter, my sunglasses, and my wallet, and it is felt lined, so I'm not worried about scratching up the lenses on those sunglasses. Then here in the door pocket, which is also pretty large, I've got my Racebox 0 to 60 timer. And then before I head out, I gotta note a couple things that make my morning more comfortable in this vehicle. So you can schedule the charging overnight. That's nice to always have a full battery. But beyond that, I can actually set the climate to be at a certain temperature at the same time every day. If I always know I'm out of the house by 8:30 a.m., I could have it be 70 degrees in here. I could have the steering wheel be heated, my seat heated as well, and I just arrive in such a pleasant environment to begin my day. Now as I put on my seat belts and put my foot on the brake, that is now going to immediately shift out of park into drive. So I don't have to do anything on here or the gear selectors down there. I just start rolling forward. That releases the parking brake. And of course I do need to make sure no other neighbor is parked over here. And the clearance at the gutter of my driveway isn't an issue at all, even without my curb ramps. Now I did run out of coffee in my house, but the Model S Plaid does have a feature to make sure you are fully awake every morning. And that feature is called launch control. And to make sure I'm getting the maximum wake up effectiveness, I've charged up the S Plaid a little more than I typically would. So I've got 86% in the battery. I'm now going to hold my foot on the brake, pin the throttle, let it prepare for launch, cheetah stance. Release my foot from the 2.19 seconds to 60. Coffee who? Now here's the truth of it. It takes a little while to get that maximum effectiveness out of the drag strip mode launch control as it prepares all the systems. But really, anytime you go into the Plaid acceleration and you put your foot to the floor, one of two things will happen. Either you'll black out like you're going back to sleep, or you'll have so much life scared into you, you'll be twitching with energy all day. And now that I'm back down around 80% charge, I wanted to see what that translates to for a range estimate. So I'll change the energy units to distance. That's 262 miles. I don't know about you, but that should be enough for me in a given day. And when I'm plugging it in every night, I'm always gonna wake up with about that range. Though I will visit a supercharger station later on to talk about that experience. For now, some daily driving details in this S Plaid, like the signals, which are on the wheel. And I am gonna spend a sec talking about this, just forewarning, because I have thoughts. So, buttons on the wheel for signals, not the first time I've seen this. Ferrari has them on the wheel, Lamborghini has them on the wheel, a few other vehicles do as well. And I don't mind them in that application because they're actual buttons that you press, so you're sure when you're engaging it or not. And in fact, they have actually levels, so you can do like a quick short press to get the 3 indications to change lanes, or a more full confident press to keep that signal going. Whereas in the Plaid, they're flat panels, and they do have haptic feedback, but it's so light you're not always sure it's actually activated, so you have to double check on the gauge cluster. That's one thing I don't love. And the other thing is, when you're turning your hands on the wheel, unless they're perfectly at 9 and 3, you're not always positive where the signals are. And even if they are at 9 and 3, you kind of have to crane your thumb over to actually activate them. So I prefer just, the original stock because, for one, you know whether it's engaged or not. If it's up, it's going right. If it's down, it's going left. And two, you can kind of activate that as you're turning your hands on the wheel. This just seems like an area they didn't need to change. And in fact, one of the first things I would do if I own this car is to get one of the aftermarket stocks that you can add back in to just use the signals the old-fashioned way. Rant over. Moving on to the turning radius. So I've got a tight little area here that I'm going to attempt to work my way around in one pass, going wide and cutting back. Am I going to clear it? Parking sensors are upset, but I am going to clear it. Wow, that's really impressive. That's a great turning circle. And now, okay, let's say someone cut me off in the S Plaid and I needed to let them know about their error. Woo! What? Someone sucked all the air out of that horn. Hey! Hey! As much fun as that Plaid acceleration mode is, it can be a bit much on the daily. So I default to either Sport, which keeps some real pep in this thing's step. Or, if I don't want to break the speed limit all the time, Chill. That really pulls back on the responsiveness, so you can kind of make your way up to speed and not just teleport there. But this is still an EV with 1,020 horsepower. You're never like sandbagging it. You get where you need to go without scaring yourself half to death. And helping you stay a bit calm is the fact that there's always regen braking working, so I can just take my foot off the throttle at any point in time and cut a lot of pace down here. It's not a heavy, aggressive regen, and you don't have different settings you can choose from, but me pulling off the throttle way back there means that I'm going to come to a stop actually a few feet before I need to, right here at this light without ever really touching the brake. In terms of comfort, one thing I have to praise off the bat in this Model S Plaid are these seats. The padding is supple, the shape is just right for my body. There are some more aggressive track focus buckets that are coming for the S Plaid, but for right now, I don't have anything to complain about with these standard seats. Well, I don't have anything to complain about, but I'll still try. Two things I could love to see in this car would be massage. It's around $100,000 for the sedan. I think it should have massage. And the second thing is thigh extender. So if I'm on a long distance journey, my legs get the support that they need. And then in terms of driving posture, there is a good amount of tilt and telescope on the wheel, though I wish that was actually done on the wheel. You have to go into the screen to controls, then you go steering, and then use these toggles on the wheel to actually move the steering wheel in and out and up and down, just like you have to adjust the mirrors the same way. Okay, I understand you're trying to condense here, but having to go into the screen to do that is a little tedious. On the flip side, two conveniences I really appreciate. One, auto hold, so if I'm sitting in a light for a while, take my foot off the brake and relax. And two, if I get distracted and the light goes green, maybe I'm getting my water bottle or scratching my kneecap, I don't know, then the car will chime to alert me that it is green, and that works even if I'm behind other vehicles. Getting back to comforts for a second, the ride quality in this S Plaid is sublime. So here I'm gonna go over some broken road surface. And I just barely felt that. The bumps are quelled and it's not jostling me all over the place. Then to direct the S Plaid down the road, there's not a whole lot of feel through the steering. I do have 3 different steering modes, but as far as I can tell, they just sort of add heft, not really great feedback. It is still a quick rack and it doesn't require much effort at all to position the vehicle. I just wish there was more feedback coming in through that steering. But speaking of feedback, I know someone who always loves to give me some of that. Let's go pick up Mobile Mama for lunch. Welcome. You look super cute.
Thank you. I usually look grungy for all your videos.
No, you don't look grungy. You just
Like I put 0 effort in.
that right there.
Oh,
That's
thanks.
fine. But you know what? You still look cute there. Are you comfortable?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I feel like my legs are hanging off quite a bit.
That's what I said. Again, you just.
Why do we say the same things? This
I don't
is
know,
weird.
because we're together. We've been
This
together for a
is
while.
weird.
It is weird. Yeah, I thought thigh extenders would be nice. I don't know if
for
passenger side.
$98,000? Is this $98,000?
Yeah, because you asked me earlier. But you know what it does have? For its $98,000.
Crazy horsepower, which I'm sure you're gonna blast off.
1,020 horsepower.
I saw you hit the
So it
plaid
just does
button.
this.
I'm used to you by now. I know what you do.
I'm used to. You sound like the horn in this vehicle. What?
Hey,
Hey. That's what the horn sounds like.
so I'm annoying.
No, it just sort of like startled by acceleration.
Okay, that one did get me.
Yeah, it's
Here's the thing.
quick.
I'm also sick, so I sound very nasally.
Yeah. You're sick. Just not feeling great. Haven't eaten all day, which is a perfect
It's the time of the
sequitur
month.
to. Yeah, we should get some food. Does that sound good? Can we
I
do that?
mean, I'm not hungry, but yeah, it sounds good.
And here we are at Tanakaya, the Japanese soba restaurant. You're gonna love it. I'm gonna love it. We've not been here before.
We don't know if we're gonna love
We
it.
think we're gonna love it. And there's a parking space for us.
Oh,
And because the turning radius is so great, we're gonna make it. I can't actually tell how close I'm gonna be.
uh-oh.
To
It should
this.
beep at you.
I mean, I've got the parking sensors for sure.
Oh,
There we go.
that's enough.
Evacuation complete.
Oh boy.
Let's go to lunch.
Women's sauna. Did not know there was a women's sauna right there.
I'll just drop you off there after lunch.
Let's just sweat
You're
out.
a women's. I've noticed. And it is so nice to just be able to walk away from the vehicle and have it lock itself. Come on. Lock yourself. There we go. Look at this. I've got my soba noodles, Japanese chicken curry, salad with ginger dressing. That was a fried pork cutlet with egg batter. It was so good. And you also have soba noodles, right?
Noodles.
Yeah,
I don't have to cook that for you anymore.
But I like it when you cook. It requires a lot of work. I understand. It's okay. This might taste a little bit better.
You can go. Exit that way.
It's fine. The car's right there. And it's parked next to an air. Can feel the tension from here. That may have been our first time there, but it will not be our last.
Definitely not.
So good. And also, we both loved the guy serving us.
He was amazing.
They reanimated
I wish.
the sweetest gentleman.
I wish I was like him.
Anyway, so I'm in the back seat of this Model S Plaid. I'm joined by you once again. I'm behind my own seat at 6 feet tall. The knee room situation's really good back here, but the foot pockets are not that spacious. And because the batteries are in the floor, my feet are pitched up, so my knees are at an angle, and I don't think I'd be comfortable back here for a very long time. You're 5'9", your head clears. Mine clears as well.
Yeah.
The seats are really comfortable, much like the front, very well padded. There's enough space here for a kid to sit, and you don't have the drive shaft up, so there's nothing to really hold them up. But yeah, as an adult, 3 adults would be a mess back here. But the 2 passengers that sat back here would have an armrest that could come down with some storage.
Carbon fiber.
No USB ports there, but those are right there. 2 cup holders. And we've got this screen, and I can turn on the climate and be blown away, not necessarily by the force of the wind, though it's decent, but the sound. It's so loud,
We're in
this
a blizzard,
climate. We have
Colonel.
seat heaters back here, music that we can play around with, videos that we can watch on Netflix or YouTube, and games to play. Now I need your help installing some car seats.
You always do.
Let's start with these doors. How far do they open? Is it going to be enough to get the car seats in there easily? Yes, for this one. And this is the rear-facing setup for our smaller kiddo. Big toddler,
Let's see. Oh.
just kind of flop it on in there. Yes, also pretty easy to get it in.
Yep.
And there are how many latch anchors and stuff? We got two
2 sets of lower latch anchors, 3 tethers.
3 tethers?
Standard.
Kind of standard, okay. But I am gonna have to move my seat forward
Yeah,
for this to have some daylight in between. What about that seat? Well, yeah, you're fine.
it's
And-
forward facing. Yeah.
And good leg room over there for our kiddo.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
good.
I moved the seat forward just a little bit so I can pass my hand through, and I'll see what that does to my driving position in a second. Getting the seat in here wasn't a problem at all. How about you?
It was a little bit of a challenge because the tether is really low in the trunk, and then you also have these headrests that are not removable, so you have to go over the top and make sure you get all the slack out and really crank it tight.
Yeah, instead of going under the bottom of it
Right.
and passing through there. We
But
also
other
had to
than
take
that, it
off
was
the cargo
fine.
cover. Now sitting in the position with it moved forward a little bit, I still find this to be pretty comfortable. Wouldn't mind an extra inch of legroom, but this is totally workable for me. And for you?
It's good. I would actually want to give her a bit more leg room. So
And you don't need to.
how good is this?
No. I mean, she
Oh.
needs her legs. We got to keep those. But now I got to go pick up my older daughter from school. How was school? Yes. Ooh, we're in this car. What do you think of this one? Yeah. Is that positive?
Yeah,
Yeah. Do you like the color?
yes,
Mm-hmm.
that's my favorite color.
Really? I thought you liked pink and white.
I like pink and white and yellow and that color.
And you can get in your own car seat by yourself? Okay, we got Danny Go playing. And now it's time to go get a treat.
1 minute?
1 minute. Actually, we'll get there even quicker. Because, Tali, you know, this is one of the best blast off vehicles I've driven. Do you want to blast off?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. Blast off! Do you want to do it again?
Yes.
Okay. Wait, what did you just say?
It's the fastest vehicle I ever did.
And you like it?
Yes.
There you go. And you know what I'm gonna like? Berry brand acai bowls. I think you're gonna like it too, right?
Yes.
Let's get some. This is looking so good, and I know we're ready to eat it. We were looking for a place to sit. Should we sit in the front, or should we sit in the trunk?
Yeah, because you can't fit in there.
I can't fit in the front. You're right. Let's do the trunk.
Yeah.
Where'd Tali go? Oh, you're in there. This will be more comfortable. But actually, this is a great place to eat a snack. So much space.
Daddy,
Yes.
I want it.
Get your berries. It's day 2 in the S Plaid, and I need to go to Costco. That is going to put me on the highway for quite a while, which gives me a chance to talk about things like visibility, which out the front is pretty great. The hood is steeply downturned so I can see the road right in front of me. The side windows are nice and large. With the car seat in there, the blind spot at that back pillar is exacerbated, but even without it, the headrest kind of lines up with the pillar, creating a legit blind spot. But you do have standard blind spot monitoring and rear cross traffic. The view at the back is narrow, but wide enough I can see pretty much everything I would need to. Now, even though my visibility is good out the front, I will say that with my seating position, the seat as low as it goes here, I do feel a little claustrophobic because how low the top of the windshield comes down. Now, I do have this big panel glass roof, so there's plenty of light in here, but it is kind of a weird view out the front where I feel like I have to kind of crouch down to really get the immersion factor inside the vehicle. Now, coasting at highway speeds, I'm going to quiet up for a minute. We're going to listen to the cabin volume. I think it's commendably quiet. Now, because we're approaching $100,000 as tested here, there are going to be comparisons to other luxury vehicles in that price category, like the S-Class or 7 Series, and they are going to be quieter. There's going to be more tire noise, there's going to be more wind noise, and especially so without an internal combustion engine to sort of cancel out some of those noises that you're hearing. But it's not bad, certainly not loud. I can have a conversation with all my passengers. No issues whatsoever. And that leads me to the sound system. There's a 22 speaker unit in this car, and I want to hear it. That's an excellent quality system. Very clear, and the static we're hearing in the background is from the music. It's not from the actual system. And nice punch from the bass as well. I'd be more than satisfied with that every day. And while I'm relaxing in my relatively quiet cabin with my excellent sound system, I may want to use the Autopilot function, which is standard in this vehicle, not the full self-driving beta, which is now a subscription service. Let's just engage the Autopilot and see how that works. Now, this is not supposed to be a completely hands-free system. I'm just demonstrating here how it first adapts with the adaptive cruise control, slowing it down when I have that truck come over. And then, because I had set my speed faster than the pace I was traveling, it changed lanes for me when it saw an opening. It's a very intuitive system. It works pretty darn well in all circumstances, but of course you need to be monitoring it at all times, and after a while it's going to go, hey, put your hands back on the wheel, which you probably should. I mean, long story short, with the Autopilot and the seat comfort and the great sound system and the passing power, of course, this would make for a terrific commuter. And I've made it to Costco. Now, I have a choice. I can either fight for one of these parking spaces here, or because there's a Tesla supercharger station right here in the adjacent parking lot, I can get two things done at once. I can supercharge this back up to 80% from its current place of 55%, while also getting my goods at Costco. And though these stations can get very, very busy, especially as Tesla is now allowing other electric vehicle manufacturers to piggyback onto their network, it is free right now. So I've got a space, and there are going to be some idling fees if I can't keep my shopping trip quick, but I'll do my very best. And I really will need to hurry, because most supercharger stations will do this 55 to 80% charge in about a half hour, and it should only cost me about 10 bucks. It's off to Costco. Well, it looks like I actually overestimated how long it would take to charge. Just 15 minutes into my shopping trip, I got a notification on my phone that charging had been completed. So in order to avoid the idling fees, I rushed back out here. I'm gonna go park the Model S Plaid somewhere else so I can get back into Costco and finish up my shopping. Now, to be clear, I think the idle fees are fair, especially as Tesla's trying to get people in and out of the station. The last thing you want is one person holding it up for hours at a time. Not me. No, thank you. I am not going to be taking it easy on this Model S in terms of storage space. This is a completely full cart here. Where is it all gonna go? Oh, this isn't even fair. I got all of these items in the front. Only the eggs are in the passenger footwell so they don't crack while driving. In the trunk up above, I've got diapers and waters, and underneath the floor, I've got tissues and spindrift. Oh, by the way, this can be a stand-up divider if you want to separate that cargo. Then the paper products can kind of just sit up top, allowing me to close up the hatch-style opening with ease. Oh, I guess I did have one other item. A bit of lunch for myself. Yes, the Model S Plaid is most certainly Costco approved. Well, crew, at the beginning of this video, I pondered in what ways a performance EV was better to live with than a performance gas-powered vehicle. And after spending some time with this Model S Plaid, I've come away with several reasons why it might be preferred. For one, the lack of engine, transmission, and drive shaft allows for ample passenger, small item, and large item storage space. Even the most potent gas-powered sports sedans won't be able to match the passing power of this S Plaid, both from a stoplight and on the highway. And if charged nightly and driven a reasonable distance during the day, the Plaid is cheaper and more convenient to run than any internal combustion counterpart. However, an equivalent gas-powered sports sedan like the BMW M5 would be quieter on the highway, will almost never need to wait for fuel, and doesn't rely on steering wheel controls for turn signals, and just about everything else. Ultimately, the S Plaid has its quirks, but is a sensational daily driver nonetheless. I hope you guys have enjoyed this day in the life, and I'll see you again next time. Yeehaw!